Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor in Paradise, a Canadian review, the Canadian version of Bachelor in Paradise. Dust off your cardigans, your flannels, your denims, and get ready for in episode 6. We'll dive right into it. If you haven't watched the show before, I recap it, take notes, no edits, no jump cuts, just me, you, and all of that jazz. If you're in Los Angeles by any means tonight, come to Hollywood Improv. I have a show there at 7:30 p.m. Go to Instagram at DNeals to check out all that information. And don't forget, if you like these recaps and you want them to keep on going, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're double-checked, you're subscribed, like it an odd number of times. All right, let's get right in. Everyone's canoodling on the beach. Nicole chats up Joey. Vay becomes jealous. Here's Nicole, youngest girl on the beach, right? She's got the upside-down bikini thing that everyone's doing on TikTok, right? You see how you take the bikini, you turn it upside down, and it's like fashion, right? Whatever. So meanwhile, Vay, she's not feeling it. She's like, I'm pretty sure like that's my guy. She's starting to catch feels. We'll get more into that. Meanwhile, Camille and Caitlin, they've got their odd relationship where like she's like, I don't really know if I trust you, and he's like, what are you talking about? You trust me. We'll get more into them as they keep going. And then the new girl arrives. There's going to be a couple of new girls. We have Sassanet, Sassy, sells, she sells, Ceci sells seashells by the seashore. Ceci sells seashells by the seashore. I got it. There we go. All right. So she goes, I'm fun, I'm confident, and messy. It's like, we know, we can tell. I definitely like that people generally don't know a lot of these contestants when they arrive. Unlike Bachelor in Paradise in the U.S., where everyone's done their research and watched everyone. It's like, who's that? I don't know. We don't watch the show. Like, even the contestants don't watch the show. Why am I recapping it then? Nobody knows. All right, Ceci has a date card. She asks Mike on the date. Stacy says, go explore. Stacy's like, go for it, Mike. So there's Mike. He's excited to go hang out with Ceci. And they do a slip and slide. Ceci slips and slides. Sessa asks Mike what his type is and says he's allowed to be as shallow as possible. Don't do it, Mike. It's a trap. If she's like, what's your type? Be as shallow as possible. He's like, a good personality, someone who works really hard. And, it's like, he's not going to say what his type is, because you will use that information against him. I've seen how this plays out before. So they're hanging out. They realize they have nothing in common. Yikes. Stacy, who's, of course, with Mike, she's like, Mike's coming back to her, and Stacy looks pretty good right now. It's almost like if you ever gone to a sleepover that was not fun, like they never offered you water and you just dehydrated yourself all night, staying up when all your friends played Dungeons and Dragons and you never learned how to play D&D, and then finally you're like, it's so good to be home. That's what it felt like for Mike. Mike talks with Stacy about his date. Energy wasn't there. His feelings for Stacy were so good. Mike says, I'm very thrilled to be coming home to you. To be coming home on, Camp Paradise bonfire. So there's a bonfire event that's going to happen tonight, right? The host, Jesse, announces that the event has a twist. Write questions on a card, and it's a polite way to throw Canadian shade. This is their polite way of like throwing shade, kind of like, but you don't have to say who says it. Almost like a burn book, if you will. Camille, a bunch of questions were asked. One was, Camille, do you not realize the girls notice you checking them out? And he's like, yeah, eyes wander. Like if Camille's eyes were a motion sensor, it'd be like a Tesla. It's like, I'm looking forward, but my eyes are noticing all the pedestrians in my periphery. That's how it is to be a man. I'm assuming a woman too. Let's not pretend a new guy walks in with 15 abs going up and down his shirt, and she's not checking him out. People check out other people. You gotta, whenever you look at somebody new or someone walks by, your brain's analyzing, is this, do I need to fear this person? Are they an enemy? Are they a friend? You know what I mean? You're doing the whole thing. And sometimes a friend looks pretty good, and you're like, that's a good looking friend. You know what I mean? As long as you're not like, I'm gonna, making crazy noises. Keep your sunglasses on, sneak a peek, go back to work. Caitlin's worried about this. So Camille's like, if Camille goes, everybody checks everybody out. It's kind of like his Seinfeld moment. Everybody checks out everybody. What's the deal with checking out? We all do it, yet we get mad. Check everybody out. Joey tells Vay he's falling in love with her, and she says she's getting there. So that's going pretty well for them. All right, Eva shows up, Serbian, 25. Brendan M. says she's got a big character, pretty forward, outspoken, doesn't bite her tongue. Usually those are not compliments, I feel like. Usually someone doesn't want someone who causes that much trouble. But hey, some people like that kind of attention. Iva's date card goes to Josh. Now, of course, Josh has been canoodling with Lisa, but to be honest, I don't think Josh likes Lisa, and I don't think Lisa likes Josh. I'm noticing nothing from their chemistry. So Iva decides I'm going to hang out with Josh. So she does just that. Oh, go back here. They have a date card, and meanwhile, Camille and Caitlin are still arguing. She's like, I feel like I haven't seen you today. And then Camille's like, we've been together all day. We've been here all day long. What do you mean you haven't seen me today? They're kind of going back and forth. I don't know what their relationship's all about. I don't know if it's the editing or what, but it kind of seems like they're kind of both settling. So anyway, what Caitlin says, I still don't know what gaslit means, but I feel like that's what happened in the moment. Listen, I'm not here to be offering too much advice, but if you don't know what the term means, don't say it. I feel like I don't know what this term means, but I feel like I'm going to label somebody as that term. Maybe we should just know terms before we say it. Maria arrives, a Canadian and Colombian. Let's go to Maria. Maria, I met a girl by the name of Maria. Her eyes were so very nice. She's on the Bachelor in Paradise beaches. You like that? You like that Broadway song there, Maria? Maria, okay. Excuse me. Surviving. It's a Monday. So Maria arrives, Canadian and Colombian from Cartagena, which is, by the way, if you haven't been to Cartagena, Colombia, what are you waiting for? It's one of the most magical Caribbean cities that exist. It's a beautiful town. And it's not too expensive to fly there, just so you guys know. And it's safe-ish. She was the first runner-up from Bachelor Chooses, so I'm guessing that's the competition that they had to see who can get on the show. So I don't think she's been on the show before. Joey knows Maria. They worked together and went on a date once. So Joey picks her up and Vay's like, oh, okay. No, don't do that. So it seems to me like Joey is friend-zoning Maria, but Vay is still jealous because, Joey's talking to Maria, and he's like, yeah, I'm with so-and-so, and Maria's like, okay. But, from a distance, it always looks like they're, flirting with each other. All right, so Iva goes on a date with Josh. They do their circus date. Let's see if we have a photo of their circus date here. So they go on their date. Now, Angela's freaking out, right? Hold on a second. Rewind. Josh and Eva go on a date to the circus. We'll get into that in a second. Maria asks Brendan M on a date. So Angela's upset because Angela's been with Brendan M, all right? And Angela smiles and she goes, go on a date. No big deal. And then her friend's like, baby, it's going to be okay. They clearly start to come to her because they know it sucks. They know that Maria's a catch. Maria walks in, feisty new girl. It's something. So Angela's girls are like, he's coming right back. No big deal. Don't worry about it. And she's still like, ah. So anyway, Angela chats with Brendan before his date, sort of puts pressure on him not to go. She's like, if you didn't want to go on this date, you wouldn't. And he's like, if I didn't want to go on the date, I wouldn't come to Bachelor in Paradise. We're here. You know what I mean? You gotta leave no stones unturned. No ladies unturned either. Turn it up. All right, so Maria and Brendan go on the date. They do messy painting. It's pretty sexy. I mean, let's be honest. It's pretty sexy. Sure, yeah, yes, they're wearing sort of I feel like these outfits were given to them. They look kind of he looks sort of like a sumo wrestler, but that's okay because they have fun colors. So they go on this date. There's no way to not be sexy when you're painting each other with sexy colors. It's a very interesting little. Imagine this messy day. They go back afterwards. They still have some paint left on them, and you have to explain to everyone else. Oh yeah, nothing happened on the date. Meanwhile, your face looks like Braveheart just did Tinder, right? All right, Braveheart and Tinder. Who would have thought? Brandon and Maria decide to hug, not kiss. See, the chemistry's through the roof with them. They decide to hug, not kiss. And that was his decision because, he's got some other things going on. So a very noble decision. Meanwhile, the three musketeers back home are like, oh my gosh, what's going on? They're wearing that Canadian blanket. Angela is comforted by her ladies. Then Brendan, M, and Maria come back to camp. Brendan avoids Angela, and Angela's like, did this just ruin us? You come back from your date and you talk to me first. How strange, you know what I mean? Really not sure what to make of this. All we know here, if there's a couple in charge of the show, it's Brendan, Quinn, and Ileana, because you don't even see a second of Brendan Quinn in this episode, mainly because guy's running ship. He's got his lady. They're happy. Nothing else is going on. Are there other people hanging out here that, could use more airtime? Maybe. Is there a lull in the show? Like, did they want to bring in this many new people, or are they feeling like it's boring? We need to keep bringing in new people. It feels to me like they're bringing in a ton of new people. But either way, like, keep it coming. Are they scraping the bottom of the barrel? Are these new people, were they even like submitting to be on the show, or is someone on Instagram being like, hey, you want to show up to this lake on Ontario? You get a couple twisted teas. Like, what's going on? I love how unrefined the show is. I love that it's not a whole bunch of pageant queens. It's people that are relatively everyday looking, except these guys are all jacked, super strong. But, by all means, they're not like, it's not as of a celebrity. I know Bachelor data isn't covering this, but I'd love to know if any of these contestants are getting any sort of bump from this with their social media following. Because to me, it seems like nobody's watching this. And I know those that are, it's like we kind of enjoy it, but at the same time, will you watch this again? Is this a show that should and will come back? If it does, here's what I wish, and it's nothing against the characters on this show, but I do wish this, part of what we love about Bachelor, the TV show, is the discussions that we get from it. But because nobody's watching this show, there's not much discussion happening. I like the idea of them being down by, like, on a lake. I like the idea of them being off of the beaches in Mexico and in the Canadian, like, sort of summer camp style. I absolutely love that. I just wonder, like, what they can do for future seasons to make it a little bit more, I don't know, high stakes. You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment and keep subscribing. Double check if you haven't already, because we need to get those subscribers up before Vlogmas. We'll see you for that. All right, folks, talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.